It's 4 o'clock in the morning. Today, I'm going to Catalina, and I'm gonna go diving for lobster. I'm gonna go with my buddy Kike. We're gonna take this beautiful boat, and I'm really excited to catch a bunch of lobsters on La Costa. Catalina Island is one of my favorite places in California. I get to go diving and fishing with one of my good friends, Enrique. So La Costa, because it's making me hungry. I'm here for the opening of lobster season, and I'm super excited. I get to go visit my good friend Rosie.
You have to love what you do.
It brings so many beautiful memories to be back here. So let's go to Catalina Island. Yeah. My name is Carlos Cham. I was born in La Paz. My grandfather was Chinese, my grandmother Mexican, which makes me 3/4 Mexican and a little bit of quarter Chinese. We're going hunting, fishing. Now I got something to cook, and diving. I'm so sorry, I know you were taking a nap. And with the help of my friends, I'm going to gather the best ingredients.
Put a little dragon's breath in.
And share an amazing meal with you. Bon appetit. That's going to blow you away. So come on, let's go. I love coming to Catalina. It's one of my favorite places in California. It only takes a couple hours to get to Catalina Island. It's located southeast of Los Angeles, 22 miles out. To be here again, it brings beautiful memories back. Coming back to Catalina years later, you can see a lot more tourists here, but a lot of the same things is still here. And this is why I love Catalina. So when I used to come here and fish, I met this wonderful person, Rosie. She's 90 years old. And this little lady, don't you dare try to help her. She will tell you she doesn't need any help. She was the weight master. So when you come into Catalina Island with the marlin, with the tuna, you come and see Rosie. Catalina Island is definitely Rosie. Right now, we're in around 100 feet of water. I'm looking for a big black giant black sea bass or a really nice yellowtail. Let's go get him. Get him. Yeah.
See that show Below Deck? This is Above Deck.
Before, in the past, when I came here, the whole island was fair game.
Well, what happened is a couple of years ago, they closed some areas to protect the fish. So anything from Long Point to Yellowtail Point is closed right now. They have a ban. Some of the fish will come back, and we're going to start seeing bigger fish.
I think this is very important. It'll be better for you kids and my kids one day so they can come and do the beautiful things that you and I do.
Absolutely, absolutely.
We made it.
Hey, we went too far, dude. We went to the Bahamas. Look at this water. Okay.
No, the water's too clean here, bro. We should go to a different spot.
I'll pee real quick. I won't make it dirty.
What's the water temperature?
Look at this, Marks.
The affected El Niños keeping the water really nice and warm all the way up to Catalina. So I took one of those macros, peed it right through the nose. I put one around 60 feet. I put another one around 40 feet.
It's a waiting game.
Well, when you're not catching, you're waiting. I think I need a beer system. I waited about a half an hour, and all of a sudden, wow! There it is, there it is, there it is. Oh! Just got action. Okay, so what we got is what we call the dog. We got a sea lion eating our bait. You can never hook these animals. They do this every day. They're so smart. It's like almost they grab your bait, they take out the hook, and they go, thank you. I put out a couple baits. We started jigging. We're casting every lure. Going in the water. We couldn't catch anything. So I said, you know what? I want to do a Dave dive because tonight lobster season opens up and I want to get some lobsters. came to Catalina and you wanted to weigh your marlin, you came and see Rosie. Rosie, those are beautiful memories.
Yes, they are, for me too.
How long you been here?
My husband brought me here in 1945.
He must love you very much.
He did from the minute he looked at me. He said, "You're the girl I'm going to marry."
Wow. How long did you had the restaurant, the fish market?
1967. When I took it over, it's because the city of Avalon asked my husband and I if we would take it. I said no. My husband said no. And then my father-in-law that lived with us, he said, "God's giving you this place. If you don't take it, he's not going to give you anything more." And I looked at my husband, I said, "Maybe we better take it."
Most people in the right mind run away from the restaurant business.
We had so much fun. So this was not a job.
My mother's been doing it for 55 years. And I looked at her every day and I go, "Mom, aren't you tired?" She goes, "Why? I love what I do."
That's exactly it. You hit it right on the nail. You have to love what you do.
So I got to hang out with Rosie, talk about the old days. She looks at me and she says, "Carlito, you want to come over to my house? Come over." So we went to Rosie's little house. She's definitely feels blessed to be in this world. You know, it really makes you think, what do you want life to be when you get to that certain age?
This is a fisherman's house. You want to see something too?
To see this woman's little den,
That's where I put all the extra keys.
there was so many cool paintings.
That's a Bev Doolittle. See the eagles in there? There's 3 eagles. My babies are what it's all about.
Yeah?
They're beautiful kids. My grandson, this is my son that went to heaven. He was 58. Your children are the apple of your eye. Sometimes they aren't, but most of the time they are.
She had this beautiful painting of her husband. This Earl?
Yeah,
When he was
this
young?
is him in the service. And there he is with my granddaughter, my first granddaughter. But this is a perfect portrait.
Rosie, thank you so much for inviting us to your house. I love you, Grandma. Check these out. These are my buddies that came from Catalina. Oh, I'm so sorry. I know you were taking a nap. Okay, go back. Night-night. You're very sleepy. So, I have 4 whole lobsters, and I have 2 lobster tails. One of the things that I want to show you is how to clean them. Shrimp and lobster, here in the back, they have a vein. Here's one of the antennas from one of the other ones. This is going to go through the rear end of the lobster, if you know what I mean. I'm sorry, but this is the way you remove the intestines. See this thing right here? That is the intestine of the lobster. So that guy is clean. I'm gonna take these lobsters. I'm gonna put them on the boiler. Some are gonna stay for 4 or 5 minutes. Some are gonna stay only 3 minutes. I need this. If you're gonna put lobster in hot water, you press that tail as hard as you can. I think this guy is gonna be my centerpiece. You put the lobster head first. If you do it the other way, it'll splash you hot water right back in your face, and you don't want that. He's not much of a jacuzzi type of langosta guy. So this guy, he's done. Ice water, that's gonna stop the cooking of the lobsters. And that look beautiful. Hey, turn it off. Turn off the engine. I hear it, but I don't see it sucking.
No, it's not sucking because there's no water.
Take it out, give it to me. I want to wash it. Okay, now check the little impeller in the middle. One of the bilge pumps kept running and running and our hole is dry. So it's very important to find out because the life of a boat is a bilge pump. You'll start taking in water and you don't know, your boat might sink.
But we don't want that. I thought you were gonna wash it.
Well, I did. And it can be a through hole, it can be a shaft, it can be a lot of things. Those 2 things are part of the pump.
Let me just take the fuse off. Well, we can keep an eye on it.
Okay,
You know what I mean?
see.
But
It's scary, but we can't leave here without...
no, but we can't have the battery run down either. I think it's just the pump is just stuck. This thing doesn't take a lot of water.
Okay, Take the fuse off.
After bilge pump, forward bilge pump, middle bilge pump, right here. Okay, so we'll just keep an eye on it. Keep opening this door, and we should be good. Put that fuse in somewhere we don't lose it. Never a dull moment on a boat.
Tonight, lobster season opens up. So now I'm scouting different areas around the island to see where I want to dive tonight. I'm so excited, so let's go.
I think you forgot your fins, bro.
And my mask. Tell you, I'm excited. 30 to 40 feet is where I seem to be the most successful when I'm in the water freediving. I'm gonna check this place right now, then I'm gonna move to another spot.
Checking out Catalina today, this weekend with Carlos. Carlos is kind of famous in Cabo because of his food.
When I'm doing this, I look for a structure. I look for rocks, I look for growth, and I look what the life looks like right now.
I feel like I know him forever. I might call him the ambassador of Baja.
I've been doing this for over 20 years, so I have a really good idea where they live and where they're gonna be.
We're checking some of the secret spots of the small coves, trying to see if we can find some fish, some lobsters.
The conditions cannot be any better. I am so stoked. I love doing this, and I love eating lobster. I'm a soup guy. I love soups. Finding chupe was a great discovery. So let's start. I'm gonna do about half a cup of olive oil, and I'll start the onion. I always like to add my salt at the beginning. 6 or 8 garlic cloves. More garlic, more better. Maybe a truckload. Fresh black pepper. This is a pepper. It's called ají, but it has a very distinct flavor. And this is the secret to make a good chupe. So this is the broth. It already has that beautiful flavor from the lobsters. Summer squash. I'm gonna put it in here right now. I'm gonna take it out when it's cooked, and I'm gonna put it in the blender. A cup of rice should be more than plenty. So what I want to do with these heads, break the antennas, leave the little short ends, crack the head right there. That'll help you pull it. A little bit of white meat. So all of this stuff can get chopped up, put it back into the chupe, give it more flavor. I just stirred it and they came up to the surface. There we go. I want to put a little bit of cold water into this. If you use some of the hot broth, when it starts spinning, it's going to pop the lid. The sweetness makes the dish perfect. I want to put my potatoes in nice big chunks. I do the insert and then I just push it with my hand. My chupe is boiling and I want to remove the protein. Here, I'm gonna use hominy, so let me show you how they add egg to this. You want the egg to clump. They put little drops of it, just like this. And that, my friends, is chupe. Now I'm gonna take the shrimp. Well, I need to add the milk. I almost forgot. This is very, very important. A whole can of evaporated milk. So that's why I have all the ingredients in front of me. I want to make sure it's perfect. Wow. I want my friend to come over and say, Carlito, I think it's really good. And my friend, he's going to be really happy. I'm just going to borrow this. So I went down. I saw a couple. That was the indicator I was looking for. So I'm going to go ahead and put on my scuba gear, go down, and try to catch my 7 legal lobsters. The visibility is like 50, 60 feet. When the water is that beautiful and that clear, it's so cool to get on the water and be able to see everything. We looked around, we moved to another spot, And I started seeing lots of lobster everywhere. Measure the lobster from the middle of their two horns to the head shell ends. Unfortunately, they were all little tiny lobsters that we call shorts. Well, they're there. I think the way to go is gonna be let it get dark, let them crawl out of the holes, hopefully catch some langosta, because it's making me hungry. I'm gonna use this lobster for decoration. So if you take your scissors and you cut that, and if you take a piece of bread and you put it inside like that, it's gonna absorb all the juices. Just clean the little legs, check the antennas. It sits up perfect on the plate, and that's gonna be really pretty. And it's all about the slicing now. So we're gonna cut this as thin as we can, right on the bias. Don't move the meat too much, because the lobster meat can fall apart so easy. I'm just gonna leave enough room to start plating all around. The sweetness. Lobster is just a very sweet animal. I want all my friends to really taste the lobster. I'm just gonna add a couple very delicate flavors to this. The first thing that I'm gonna do is do the olive oil, a little bit of fresh black pepper, the zest from the lemon. I think it's gonna play a great trick in everybody's nose when this dish comes to the table. Just a little bit of the lemon juice. I know that's pretty, but if I can make it prettier, I always will. Then I'm gonna take chile jalapeno. Look at that. Now, my friends, this is my lobster carpaccio. Yeah. What I'm catching right now, it's mackerel. Hey, Mr. Macarello. So when my bait dies in the tank, I don't want to throw the dead bait away. I usually keep it in a cooler with ice. This is what we call chunk. If you want to bake bait, some of your dead anchovies, chop them up, and just put a little bit of bait in the water. You don't want to put too much. So lower your line, make that little piece, they'll start fighting for it. There it is. So there it comes. One more mackerel. That was really, really, really fun. We got a bunch of mackerel to put them inside the hoop net so I can catch some lobsters. Yeah. Yeah. So this is a yellowtail. There it is. So that was small yellowtail. The lobster pot coming up. There it is. I think I want.
How big?
I'm gonna measure it. Feel the pump, pump, pump. All right, my little lobster friend. Oh, this, I think it is. I just got it. Make sure that it's a legal one. So should be wearing gloves on this. This side is 3 1/4. Put my hand underneath of them, and it goes between the eyes. That one, it's a legal lobster. My first legal lobster on a hoop net. Pretty cool. Look at that. Look at that. I mean, literally, it's just by a hair.
Let's see.
The thing right there. Yeah. Night diving, don't be afraid of this. Things at night under the water, they come alive. This is what we came here for. Spiny Pacific lobster. That was a lot of work for 3 lobsters. That's the biggest one I got tonight. Look at that. That's gotta be a couple pounds. Make a tasty meal tomorrow when I go back. I'm gonna have my friend Kike and his wife over to the house and eat some langosta. Yeah, bud. Right now, let's make lobster machaca. The lobsters are cooked. It's gonna go around the shell. The reason why I wanna use this bowl, a lot of water, it's gonna come out. Inside the lobster, I'm gonna remove the inners. If you notice, they're not cooked all the way, but that's fine. Got my scissors now. So if you cut both edges of the lobster, none of the meat sticks to it. One of the reasons why I wanted to do machaca and turn them into quesadillas is because I didn't get a whole lot of lobster. I'm only gonna utilize 3 lobster tails when I do this dish. I need to stretch this meal, so we're gonna add a lot of vegetables. These are Chile Verdes. I'm just gonna give this a rough chop like this. These peppers are not spicy at all. They just add a lot of flavor. I'm gonna take 4 or 5 tablespoons of olive oil, a little bit of salt. Onions, but I wanna cook them until they turn nice and sweet. I'm gonna cook at a very high heat. Now I wanna add garlic. I think about 8 cloves of garlic. I don't wanna chop this too fine because it's gonna cook in there for a while. That's how you start machaca. So I cut it in the middle just to double check that the lobster is nice and clean. This is just like a shrimp. Nice big chunks, because when you cook it, it's gonna kind of shred. Now, I'm just gonna chop a couple tomatoes, and these are Roma tomatoes. The tomatoes are cooking, the onions and the peppers are perfect. Okay, this is ready. We're gonna add the lobster meat. We're just gonna cook this a little bit. This is gonna easily make 10 big quesadillas. I don't wanna overcook the lobster, so I'm gonna take it out of the heat now, and I'm gonna let it rest. I have my flour tortillas, I have my machaca ready. And this is a sharp provolone. This right here is Oaxaca cheese. It's a cheese that they make and they curdle, and then they put it in hot water. It works really good on quesadillas. Here I have some of that mozzarella, the creaminess. That 3 combinations of cheese should make a really good quesadilla. I'm gonna show you how to make one quesadilla, a little olive oil on the tortilla. Oops. My griddle is nice and hot. Take your brush, spread it all across, do the other side. Now cheese. Try to combine all the 3 cheeses. You can fold it, but I think if I do it this way, don't get the cheese too close to the edges so it doesn't make a mess. The machaca is nice and juicy. Put that on the middle, just like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this, whatever times it takes to finish all the machaca. My friends are on their way, and I'll see you guys over at the table. We're about to have some good, yummy food. I love coming to Catalina Island. I got to see my friend Rosie. I got to go diving and fishing. Now it's time to get together with all my loved ones and share a beautiful meal. So till next time, I am Carlos Cham. Thank you for watching. This is Carlitos Cooking Adventures. Salud!